Hello, I'm Mayor Susan Seaman. As I've shared with you in my previous communications, the City of Eureka is continuing to work strenuously to support the health and well-being of our citizens, our community, and our economy during the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, however, I want to add that we also support the health and well-being of our community as we address concerns of systemic racism in law enforcement and racism in our community. We've been through quite a lot in the last week, as a country and as a community. The death of George Floyd spurred outrage, and it should have. It was an abuse of power, it was murder, and not at the hands of one officer, but those who watched it happen. The resulting protests led to some impactful conversations between activists and law enforcement officers. All of the criticism, no matter how difficult it was to hear, brought clarity of perspective and a desire to do what we can to face and eradicate racism from our department. When we excuse law enforcement officers that victimize people of color, and when we allow policies that don't address implicit bias, we're sending a message to the victims of these broken policies that we don't hear them. Beyond that, we send a message to other people that it's acceptable behavior. We see things like the murder of Ahmed Aubry perpetrated by racists who used the excuse that they thought he was breaking the law to kill him. We see citizens use the police as a weapon against people of color, like Amy Cooper calling the police to threaten a bird watcher rather than follow the law herself. Those were not acts of violence by the police, but violence and threats committed because there are far too many people who have built a narrative of fear around a system that perpetrated it. Those are examples that happened across the country and not in our backyard. But Eureka is not immune to it. We need to be mindful of our own motivations when we find ourselves reporting the activities of people of color. The Council and I have a shared objective to address the concerns we've heard from the community. In times like this, swift action is requested. Several people have reached out with information about a variety of reform platforms. Thank you. For the past several years, EPD has been making great efforts to address several issues brought up in these platforms, like implicit bias training, de-escalation techniques, and community policing. The process is never finished, however, and we can and will continue to do more. We'll be reviewing our current policies and practices to find areas for improvement. We will engage all of the departments at City Hall in our efforts. We will seek community engagement. We will find ways to make meaningful progress, and we will begin immediately. If you would also like to research Eureka Police Department policies and practices, you can find them on the Eureka Police Department website at the Transparency Portal. There you can find links to the policy manual, general orders and memorandums, training, body-worn camera policies, community engagement, and other topics of interest. For those who have questions about the two incidents of cars that drove through the demonstration, a red Jeep and a white truck, both incidents are being investigated and will be forwarded to the district attorney when that investigation is complete. Finally, I do want to remind people that we're still in the middle of a pandemic. If you found that you were around a lot of people this weekend, there's a testing site at Redwood Acres for COVID-19. Testing is free, and you may get retested as often as you need. To schedule a test, visit lhi.care/COVID testing. As always, and in addition to our video updates and social media posts, you can find regular updates about COVID-19 at the City of Eureka's website, which is ci.eureka.ca.gov, as well as links to other important community resources. Again, I'm Mayor Susan Seaman, and I appreciate your attention to this message. Be safe, stay healthy, be patient with yourself, and kind to your neighbors and family. We'll talk again soon.